I never thought the day would come where I would say that an isekai anime is a masterpiece, but that's the only way I can describe ReZero Season 2. Whether you enjoyed the first season or weren't particularly keen on it, Season 2 is absolutely worth watching and several magnitudes better than the first. In this spoiler-free review, I'm going to go over several key areas of the show: writing, characters, acting, and animation and sound. Let's start off with ReZero Season 2's writing. Coming into this season, I thought the writing in Season 1 was decent, as it wasn't exactly an original concept with the return by death, but the world and the specific challenges presented were novel enough. Season 2's writing is much cleaner though. It expertly brings together a myriad of story threads that were mentioned in Season 1 but didn't seem initially to be relevant to one another. It also brings new depth to the story's main mechanic, increasing the stakes of return by death and doing a much more thorough job of showing how it impacts not just Subaru, but the entire cast. Another very impressive thing about ReZero Season 2's writing is that the setting is much more constrained than that of Season 1, with characters spending time in only a few key places. The advantage of this temporary narrowing of the world is that the mysteries of these locations and the motivations of the people within them are able to be explained in far more detail. We get to see the same problems from a multitude of angles without switching to other settings in between, which helps create some of the most satisfying moments in the entire series when these problems are finally solved. Next, I want to talk about ReZero Season 2's characters, which are, of course, very entwined with the show's writing as a whole. Initially, I thought I would be disappointed in the characters explored in Season 2 because some key figures from the first season are missing or only minimally present. However, I was absolutely blown away with the amount of character development that the show managed to pack into its run. For example, I was not at all a fan of Emilia during Season 1, as I felt like she was a bland character who Subaru was obsessed with for no real reason, while Rem was much more interesting. After Season 2, I can say that Emilia is one of my favorite characters in the entire show, and I truly understand why Subaru loves her now. We also got some incredible development for Subaru, Otto, Beatrice, Roswaal, and a number of other characters, revealing them to be far more nuanced than they were presented in the first season. There were even some flashback scenes that brought a completely new light to a character from Season 1 that I never would have expected. ReZero Season 2 also introduced quite a few new characters to the cast, but the additions were not overwhelming. All the new characters either received a decent amount of development or were so vibrant and memorable that they didn't feel like they needed extra depth at the moment. I think that's a good place to transition to the people who made the characters so compelling, the voice actors. ReZero has, in my opinion, one of the greatest voice casts I've ever heard in anime, and both Yusuke Kobayashi as Subaru and Rie Takahashi as Emilia knocked it out of the park all season long. I'm continually amazed by the ability of Yusuke Kobayashi to switch between Subaru's normal, upbeat, enthusiastic personality and his wails of anguish during his times of suffering. And Rie Takahashi had an incredible number of emotional scenes with Emilia that she pulled off flawlessly, performances that can easily bring viewers to tears. Other standouts from the cast this season are Takahito Koyasu as Roswaal, Satomi Arai as Beatrice, and Nobuhiko Okamoto as Garfiel. Next, let's talk about the animation. White Fox went hard once again, with stunning visuals for both fight scenes and more subdued interactions alike. The studio has really given their all to this adaptation, as evidenced by the fact that most episodes are nearly 30 minutes long, and most don't show the OP or ED on top of that. ReZero has very vibrant character designs, and White Fox brings all of them to life with nuanced facial expressions and body language. It does an amazing job of portraying everything from euphoric joy to absolute despair. ReZero Season 2 also has great sound design that intensifies both the ever-looming danger and the moments of happiness in between disasters. The opening song is very upbeat, and the ending is more tranquil but powerful, and even though we didn't see the animations for them during most of the season, we still heard them in the background quite often. Overall, ReZero Season 2 is an upgrade in every way from Season 1, and it's one of my favorite things I've watched in quite a while. There are very few things I think the season could have done better. I'm tempted to give it a 10 out of 10, though I feel like it could eventually be a 9 out of 10 once the hype from watching wears off. For this review, I'll give it a 9.5. From its writing and characters to its acting, animation, and sound, ReZero Season 2 is an absolute gem, and I'd recommend it to anyone who likes fantasy anime, even if isekai is not their genre of choice. Thanks for watching! If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing for more weekly anime content. I'm Matrix from Matrix A&M, Anime and More, and I hope you have a great day.